I want to say it was Thursday or something, saying that I was going to try and go live over the weekend. So hi, hopefully we catch somebody. So we're going to start doing some charm readings throughout the channel. I'm going to mix them through the week's worth of messages and stuff like that. But we do have those tonight if anybody wants one. So they're going to be listed under the mini category. So they're going to be $10 readings going forward in the future. So I got, I want to say it's like 200 charms. So they're different. I'm going to keep adding to these a little bit at a time just so I have a bunch of different stuff. But I wanted to show you guys some of this stuff while I'm live. And then I'm going to do some collective readings with these and with some tarot stuff. So these are some of the boards that I created. This one's for love stuff. So it's got different things for love. This one's got the zodiac wheel, the different elements, and the different houses on it. This one, I think I'm going to call it Laugh At It Later, so kind of like some spiritual advice, things like that. This one is messages from spirit, like things that a passed on loved one might want you to know. I'm trying to think what I was going to call this one. Just like some life stuff, different things that might be going on. Hey, Bridie. See, I told you I'd remember it. I'm doing good, hon. I hope you're well. And then this one's like just some life stuff. So we're going to do some of these tonight. And then if you guys want to purchase a reading, that's also available. Let's see, I'm on my phone, so I didn't post it into the chat. Let me see if I can do that. I don't remember if I can. I don't honestly know how I do that. Oh, let's see. Can I do that on here? How do I do that? Maybe not. You didn't get a notification? Lame. That is lame. I wonder if your settings for live are turned on, because that might be why you didn't get notified. So when you go to click the notification bell, there's a couple of options, I think, if I remember right on there. I think you can select all, live, or like updates or something on there. So either click all to get notified when I post videos and go live, or if there's one for live, make sure that's clicked. Because YouTube has changed its settings over the years, and so if I remember, you have to select like either all the things or especially live if you want to be notified that I go live, because they're different ones. So make sure that those are clicked if you want to get notified. But I'm glad you're here, so regardless of however you found it. So I was just talking about the charm boards. So we're going to do some of these tonight for you guys. I'm not going to be on super long. We're going to go ghost hunting tomorrow. Yay! Finally. So we're going to go to, what is it called? Ludlow, Colorado. So I want to say it was like the late 1800s, early 1900s. There was something called the Ludlow Massacre. It was a mining town, to my understanding. And so they had like a general store. They had, homes and things like that. So the company, the owners of the mine, owned all the stuff, right? They owned the store, they owned the homes, all of that stuff. So these families that lived there and worked in the mines ended up wanting to go on strike because they were having unsafe working conditions and unfair wages. So they striked. And as a result, the owners of the mine, the company, ended up burning their homes to the ground. Okay. And then they were living in tent cities, and we get some really cold weather in the wintertime here, especially in the mountains. It can be absolutely awful. And so some of them ended up hiding underground for a little while. Anyway, a lot of people died, especially women and children. And so it's rumored to be haunted. There's a memorial down there and everything. So we're going to take a drive down there tomorrow, and we're going to go see if we capture anything. So there's a memorial. There's some old remnants of buildings. Like the pictures that I looked at online, there were just little odds and ends of stuff still left down there. It's been a long time. So we're going to see if we capture anything. I'm going to have several different cameras going. My cell phone, my digital camera. I have another little cheapy camera. I'm going to take my Polaroid. I'm going to see how much stuff I can actually capture. So we're going to do that tomorrow. So sometime next week, we're going to end up having the footage uploaded. Are you doing that live? I could try. I will say try, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any signal down there. All of the footage that I've seen online is, it looks pretty desolate down there. There doesn't look like there's really much of anything there anymore. So I will try. If I have cell service, I will try and live stream through my cell phone. If I don't have any, it's just going to be video that you guys see later, but I can try. So we're going to leave here in the morning sometime. It's about a 2.5 hour drive to get there from where I live. And then of course, you know, it's going to take just that longer to get back. So I don't know how long we're going to be down there for, probably at least like an hour, maybe a little bit more. And I will try to live stream for you guys. So I'm excited. I haven't really gotten to do much of any ghost hunting all summer long. So we'll see. Hopefully we capture something cool. If not, you know, it'll be a pretty drive. My boyfriend's brother lives down that way, so we're going to stop and say hi to them, because we don't see them all that often, because it's quite a bit of a drive. So we're just going to see what we can see down there. Let's see. Hang on one second, guys. All right. Trying to block somebody in here because they're irritating. So since I'm on my phone, I'm not able to have it set for subscribers only. So, you know, we get some people in here that are just irritating. So we're going to do our best to try and keep them out of here. Okay, so we're going to do some charm readings tonight. We're going to do some tarot tonight. And then we'll do some rapid fire mediumship if anybody wants that. So what is the difference? Rapid fire, I'm not trying to like channel for over an hour for you. A few minutes just to see what energy comes in, see if I pick anything up for you in the spirit, and we'll take it from there. So if you guys want a reading, make sure you tell me what kind we're doing for you, whether it's mediumship, tarot, or a charm reading. And then if it's a charm reading, I have a lot of different types of boards. I think I have like 6 different ones. So if it's like you want love, let me know, because I have a love board. If you just want a general, I have a couple of those. If you want the mediumship board, let me know that one. And if you're unsure, I'll just pick for you. We'll pick something random and we'll see what we get. So the charm reading stuff, I'm really liking. We did some of that on TikTok yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I felt like the messages came through really easily. So I'm going to start incorporating this. You guys might actually get some of that in your like weekly readings going forward. So I have the next like week's worth of videos already done for you. So it'll be like the following week. I want to say like the 2nd or so week in August. So you guys are going to start seeing some of that incorporated into your readings. The lineup will probably change a little bit. So we're going to have, your basic, like, you know, your weekly reading's still going to be up there, because I feel like that's something that you guys actually watch. Let's see what else. We may or may not do the daily card. I don't know. We'll see. You guys definitely liked that in the past, so I might start putting that back up there. There'll be a singles reading every week, and then the rest of it's just kind of random, whatever I kind of feel like posting. Sometimes we're going to post spiritual guidance. Sometimes we're going to post shadow work. I'm going to try and put up a weekend reading so that you guys have a weekend message up. And then you guys really seem to like the individual signs. So I think what I'm going to start doing is instead of posting everything on a Monday for the week ahead, it's going to be like a 1-week read for each sign. So I'm probably going to do like all the fire signs one day, water signs one day, air signs one day, earth signs one day. And that way I won't overwhelm myself with all the stuff that I'm trying to incorporate. So we'll see what happens with that. If it doesn't work out, then we'll change it up. I know you guys liked the shorter readings as well. The only problem is that doesn't count towards my channel going to the next goal that I have. So we are going to do a little bit longer readings. But I think 10 minutes is usually pretty adequate. So like 10 or under, right around there. That's what we're going to start working with. And then if I'm feeling like I don't want to post a long reading, it'll be a short one for that week. So whatever. We're going to wing it. That's kind of how I roll with most stuff. So I want to start with the charm readings. So I'm going to see if I can flip my camera around so you guys are able to see. So we're going to start with this one. This one's going to be like the general reading one, because it's got a lot of different stuff on there. So can you guys see all this? I'm going to try and Orientation is locked. Let's see. Let me change that. 1 second. Let's try that. Maybe. Let me see if it'll let me flip it. Nope. Okay. So we're going to have to do it this way. Sorry for making anyone dizzy there. Okay. Try and get this in frame so you guys can see good. Okay. So charm readings are pretty standard, like with what everything says. So wherever the charm lands, that's what we're going to read it for. So we give it a good little mix here. This one is obviously for the collective. All right, let's see what we've got. What's going on? Anything that falls off, we're not counting. Just the stuff that landed on the board here. Okay, so let's see what we've got going on. So we're going to go across each row like this until we reach the bottom. So in the first one, banish energy, we have a little star here. I feel like Spirit really wants us to kind of rid ourselves of all the toxic or negative energy that surrounds us, because this makes our life a lot happier, right? And if you look, it's got a little wink there. I feel like confirmation could be like a shooting star or a falling star, so somebody might see that. I feel like you really need to pay attention to your thoughts, right? If it's something super negative, it probably needs to be changed. All right, in setbacks, we have the light bulb. So there could be some creative ideas coming to the surface, inventions, things like that, some sort of breakthrough, bright idea, creative thinking. So even if you've had a setback somewhere, I feel like Spirit's trying to tell you, don't stop, keep going, come up with something new, right? Like try something else. All right, in the ancestors, we have the mushroom. So I feel like there could definitely be some lessons to learn. I feel like mushrooms would be an indication that something is growing or changing, and it might happen quickly. I also feel like this could have to do with maybe like, you know, taking mushrooms in some form can also cause you to like see different things. Some people would say it's hallucinations. I think it's more that you're tapped into like a higher realm when you're doing those things, but I do feel like we're going to start to see some changes in that, especially medicinally. So ancestors could be showing you little toadstools. How cute. All right, in the spiritual, we have this ring. So I feel like Spirit is always trying to tell us that we are an infinite being, right? And that we continue on past the earthly plane. That's why I go ghost hunting, is to show that. And so I feel like Spirit's trying to show us that life doesn't end when we die, that it continues on, our spirit continues on, that it's continuous, it's eternal, it's forever. All right, so in the hardship, we have a snake. Interesting. So we are in the year of the wood snake. I think it's the Chinese calendar. Changes could be happening. I would say it's also a caution to watch out for kind of the company that you keep, right? Because somebody could kind of be a snake. You might have dealt with somebody like that. You might have dealt with somebody who was really crummy. And so this is an opportunity for you to make changes. In love and romance, we have the wolf. Interesting. So you might be a little bit of a loner right now. I feel like wolves are really loyal. They're also a creature that can be a pack animal, but it can also survive on its own. So I feel like you might be in this transitional stage when it comes to love and romance. Maybe you're kind of a loner. Maybe you don't really resonate with a lot of people. Maybe you're more selective. Whatever that happens to be, I feel like some things are changing in that category. Let's see, what is this one? In friends, we have the little Pepsi can. Let's see if we can get that to focus. So needing to enjoy things in life, right? So sweet treats, things that bring you happiness, spark joy, things like that. And we have the key, if I could pick it up. So there might be something that you are unlocking. Maybe it's a new friendship. Maybe you're learning something, opening new doors, going in new directions. We have another snake. This one's a cobra. So this was kind of in between old flame and friends. So there could be somebody that resurfaces in your life that's not the nicest of people. Maybe they backstabbed you or betrayed you in the past. So I would suggest that you feel that out before you investigate any further. Let's see. In home, we have the butterfly. So there's some transformative energy that's changing in that area. So there could be changes to your physical home. It could be like beautifying your space. It could also be in relationships around the people you live with. That could also be changing, but transformative energy and some sort of breakthrough, right? Creativity, bright ideas, definitely some sort of breakthrough in your home. Maybe you're looking to get a new home. I feel like that could also be something that's changing. And in family, we have the little star flower here. So I feel like there's things that are blooming. So someone could find out they're expecting, maybe friends, family, close relatives are also expecting. So expansion is coming in for the family life. So that's one of our boards that we can use in a reading. So this one is just like the general stuff, general energy that's going on. I'm going to pull out the love one. There it is. So, let's see what's happening for the collective. We're in the very first week of August. What's going on for love? Okay, that one fell off. These ones fell off. All right, so I don't know how well this shows up for you guys. So we have love, lust. Let's see. Lessons, blessings, future improvements. How do they feel about you? How do you feel about them? Obstacles to overcome. And how is your relationship going? So it looks like the bulk of it fell in the middle. So that's where we're going to start. So we have a little clothespin. So I feel like there could be some love notes, maybe reminders of things is what's coming to mind. Energetically, I'm seeing like a little push pin, like a little pin, stick a pin in it, something that you're going to come back to later. So that's interesting. We have the wheel. This is a ship's wheel. So I feel like your relationship could be going in a new direction. Maybe advancements in your relationship. Let's say you've been dating a while. Maybe you're going to get engaged or married, things like that. What else? I love Doctor Who, so somebody might actually watch that show. I do feel like there is this need to engage in hobbies, maybe together. That could be another one. This one says, you are my only. So some good luck coming in love for the collective. Love that. We have the bee. So bees are symbolic of miracles. I love that. So there could definitely be some big changes happening in your love life. It could be a miracle for some of you. Maybe you've been single a long time, so somebody new's coming in for you. What's funny is this little ring is little skulls. So I feel like death, rebirth, transformation, right? Some big changes coming in. Sometimes something has to end for new opportunities to come in, right? And we have to go through that transformative energy. The butterfly is symbolic for change, rebirth, transformation. So it starts as a caterpillar and then it goes into the cocoon and it transforms. It does border on death before it's actually emerged brand new entity, a butterfly, and it's changed forever, right? So it can't go back to the way things were. It's permanent. It's a permanent change. So we're going to start up here. We're going to go in a circle. So somebody could be an army wife. I feel like somebody's learning some lessons, especially when it comes to love, maybe marriage, things like that. Maybe there's some sort of lesson unfolding. We do have the Navy anchor as well. So some military backgrounds could be significant. An anchor is symbolic for laying down roots somewhere. So maybe you guys had to travel a lot being in the military. Maybe somebody's finally done with their service contract, and so they're able to finally put down some roots somewhere. I love that. In blessings, we have the sun, moon, and stars. So I feel like just connecting to earth, grounding your energy is going to be really important. There's some blessings coming in some form with sun, moon, and stars. Maybe that's on something. I feel like it's on a piece of clothing. That's a weird one to come through, but that's what I'm picking up. In improvements, we have the fan. So Spirit's telling me someone needs to like fan their passions, like fan the flames of things that they really want to do, and that's going to create some improvement. You know, we don't do black magic over here. We don't at all. So if you just have hateful comments, please just leave. We don't want that over here. We're doing things to help people, nothing more. We have hope in how do they feel about you. So I feel like maybe somebody's hoping someone's interested in them. That's interesting. And we have, what is that? Oh, the little pixie in the moon with a star. I feel like someone might connect to fairies or pixies, like Tinkerbell, things like that. Maybe somebody sees them as like really sweet and innocent. That's cute. the little paw print. So somebody could be adding a fur child to their family, pets of some kind. I feel like there's a lot of love there. We do have the Pepsi can coming out again. Let's see if I can get it to show up here. So I feel like sweet treats, things that bring you happiness and joy, maybe a little bit of a sugar addiction, definitely something that's a challenge to break. But I do feel like they see you as sweet, right? Somebody sweet. All right, obstacle to overcome. Ooh, somebody might have an obstacle with the father figure. Okay, so I feel like you could be trying to, maybe somebody's father doesn't approve of the person that they are interested in. That's kind of what I'm picking up. So I feel like there needs to be some conversations had about that. But I do feel like somebody has some issues with a father figure. And in the past energy, we have the tooth with the wings. So there could be some wisdom that's also coming in. I feel like someone might also need to go see a dentist. Maybe they had some issues with their teeth at some point. So this one is the love board. So isn't it cute? There's so many different things in here that it's hard to like pick out favorites, but just depends on like what I end up grabbing comes out. And so it's different every single time, which makes it kind of fun. But there's a lot of cute stuff in here. I think you could also probably make like jewelry out of some of these things. Let me find it. Like this infinity symbol, you could put like, you know, a piece of string on either side and wear that as a necklace. There's like little medallions and they all have like these little hoops on the top. So it's fun. I'm excited. I'm going to keep adding to it. So I have just a ton of stuff in there. So if anybody wants a charm reading tonight, let me know. Drop your name in the chat. Tell me if you want that. We're also going to pull some tarot. So I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can see the cards. And I don't plan on being on here super late tonight or anything. Oh, sorry. This tripod kind of sucks. So we're just gonna pull some cards and see what's what. And then hopefully I'll see some of you guys tomorrow when we do ghost hunting stuff. We'll see what happens. I don't know exactly what time we're gonna leave out of here in the morning, but it'll take us a couple hours to get down there. When we get there, I'll see if I have signal, and if I do, that'll do it. Boards are kind of hard to see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to I was looking for some stuff that I could draw on. That was kind of how these came about. And everything that I was looking at, the markers would like rub off really easy. And so I thought, well, shoot. So this is actually, what was this called? This is like wallpaper that I found. And I thought, oh, that'll work for now. And the good news is like I can rub the letters and they don't come off. So they're just to start out with. I'm going to upgrade later. But for right now, I just wanted something that I could use the charms with. So I will use more lighting the next time. I will do those for you guys because some of them are dark. Some of them aren't as dark. Like I feel like this one's a little easier to see. And then maybe if I could pick it up, this one's a little bit easier to see. So I think they just need a lighter background, but I kind of liked the wallpaper color, so that's why I picked those ones, but they could be a little lighter for sure. All right, so does anybody want to do a charm reading or tarot? Or does anybody have any mediumship questions they want me to try and answer? Let me pull some for the collective for tarot. And next time I'll go live on my laptop, so it's just for subscribers, so we don't have people commenting negative stuff over here. Because you know I hate that stuff. It drives me nuts. Alright, let's see. Okay, first week of August. What's going on for the collective for the month of August? Let's do for the month. What is happening? Okay. Start with the Five of Wands, Knight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. I will show you guys the cards here in just a minute. I feel like there's been some sort of argument somewhere, some sort of falling out, some sort of discord. I feel like somebody wants that chapter to end, though, so somebody might be taking action to communicate. I feel like it has to do with some sort of relationship, though, friendship or love relationship. And you're going to have to decide whether this is something that you want in your life or whether you don't, right? Like, does it need to end? Is it healthy? Is it not healthy? I do feel like there's going to be some communication. Eight of Wands, Four of Swords, Empress, and Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. I feel like somebody, the feminine energy, the Empress, is really burnt out, really exhausted, and so maybe they've kind of gone into isolation. But there's some sort of new financial opportunity coming in. Interesting. We have Death, Queen of Swords, and Four of Pentacles with the Three of Wands. I do think that something is ending so that something better can happen. Could be in work or a love relationship. The Emperor came out. Okay, so I think that somebody had a falling out somewhere. There could have been an argument, some sort of obstacle that was a challenge to overcome, and so there needs to be a conversation had to clear the air. I do feel like the masculine energy is the one that's going to reach out and kind of test the waters is really what I'm picking up. And you're going to have to decide whether this is something you want to continue with or whether you don't, right? So we have to make a decision. I don't know why I can't pick up the cards tonight, but we're struggling. So I feel like there's going to be some incoming communication, but I do feel like somebody has kind of closed themselves off, so kind of retreated in order to heal, lick their wounds, things like that. Maybe they just need some peace and quiet. I do feel like burnout is something someone's dealing with. The feminine energy, I feel like, is the one that's retreating or in... Spirit says in hiding. They could be in hiding for sure. We do have some new financial streams of income that are coming in, so I love that. And I do think something is ending, right? So we can transform the energy, transform it, transmute it, and change it. I do feel like somebody's been cut off, right? Blocked. Somebody who maybe has turned the cold shoulder, somebody who doesn't want to give this person a second chance. And the Four of Pentacles, we're kind of hoarding resources and we've got to change that. More money is coming, so we can't always operate in lack because it blocks the flow of more. I feel like somebody's really been waiting a long time for things to change with their finances especially, but it could also be in this relationship. We have the Queen and the King of Swords, so there could be a couple here, like a married couple here. Maybe that's coming to an end. The King and Queen of Swords are both like really analytical thinkers, right? Facts and figures, numbers and logic, not a lot of emotions there. Doesn't mean they don't have the emotions, it's just they don't really show those. And then we have the Emperor. So it's almost like I have two pairs here. We have the Emperor and the Empress and the King and Queen of Swords. I do feel like divine counterparts are going to be coming into union. I've been saying that for a while now. We're going to start to see those things happening. Something might be falling apart so that that can happen in some of these cases. And in others, I feel like they're kind of coming out of the blockage and out of the separation and coming into union. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So there could be an unexpected visitor that shows up at your door. It's also movement, travel, relocation, moving to greener pastures. It could have to do with a job for some of you. So August could be kind of a pivotal month for some of you. Love and money, I feel like, are the two biggest things that I see that are changing. The Six of Cups is also, are you willing to let go of the past to have a happier future? So for some of you, I do feel like some relationships might be dissolving so you can go towards a new connection. Interesting. Okay. So August could be a pivotal moment for some change there. All right. Gisela says, I want to see mediumship. Okay. Anything in particular you want me to try and answer for you without giving a bunch of information away? Because you know I like to do cold readings. Mom's birthday was yesterday. Said happy birthday and to show me a sign if you are here. As I scrolled online, her name came up. Love that. One of those names that you don't see in Today, a White Butterfly. I love that. So happy birthday to your mom in spirit. Let's see. So we're trying to connect to mom then. Okay. Let's see what we pick up. I feel like she's got an unusual name, okay? And I feel like it's not something common. It's something that they're giving me an R. is one letter that I'm picking up. Let me see if I can get like a whole name or try and sound it out to you or spell it out to you. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. The name sounds like Rona, Ramona. The R, the N, and the A are strong to me. What I am picking up is that there was a like best friend quality that you and her had, and I feel like there's there's obviously a big hole when one of our parents transitions, but I feel like you two would sit and talk for hours. You would chat with each other about a lot of things, laugh with each other, and I feel like that's something that is difficult, if not impossible, to replace once they've gone. They're showing me what looks like a bracelet. It's got like dangly things. It could be charms or something on this bracelet. And I feel like it's silver in color. I feel like either she wore one or somebody has this of hers. But it looks like there's dangly pieces, like little charms that come off of this like silver looking bracelet. That might be significant. They also show me what looks like a convertible car. I don't know if somebody had a convertible car, like where the top folds back. That's a weird one, but it looks like a toaster. I'm looking at an object and it looks like a toaster. Like I can see the slots in the top of it and it looks like toast popping out of it. That's a weird thing to come through, but anytime I channel for mediumship, you get whatever I'm picking up. So something to do with a toaster. Something could have malfunctioned. Somebody might have just bought a new toaster. But like I can see it slide down and then pop back up. So there's something to do with toast or a toaster. The silver bracelet with charms, a convertible, and a name that sounds like Rona, Ramona. And they're showing me a cat that looks like kind of yellowish orange in color. And really pretty like green eyes on a cat. So somebody might have a cat that's like yellowish orange with bright green eyes. And this cat has stripes on it too. Like the body color is lighter and then it's got kind of like orange stripes throughout the coat with green eyes. German. It's German, her name. Is R in her name? Like, because I feel like R, N, and A are sounds that I'm getting with her energy coming through. Could be first name, middle name, or last name, but that's the only name energy that I'm picking up on. And then I see what looks like a turtle. Like I can see the shell of the turtle. I don't know if somebody found one or had one as a pet. Could even be like a tattoo or something. But I see a turtle. I can see the shell. Not many other details around it, but I definitely see a turtle, so that could be significant somehow too. All right, Gisela, any other questions for me? Not sounding like your mom. Okay. So that does happen sometimes, like when I open the channel and there's other people, sometimes I'm drawing other people's energy. So it happens from time to time in a live. Typically when we're one-on-one, it doesn't, because it's more like focused on just your energy, but it could be for somebody else that's watching. So I definitely think that spirit is always around us. So you could be seeing little reminders and things around that you know are things that you associate with that person. So things like you said you saw her name that was an uncommon name. So things like that, that it's like, it's not really a coincidence if you're seeing something that's really unusual, right? And so when my mom passed, similar things were happening for me. I would see things that I associated only with my mom, and they would usually come in the most random of ways. And so that's something that just to keep an eye out for any sort of like signs that you think are associated with them, especially if it's something that you've specifically asked for. And I tend to ask spirit for kind of obscure things or unusual things. That way I know it's not just, oh, well, I just happened to drive past this and that's there. You know, things that you wouldn't normally see in places that you frequent, things like that. Wanted to ask for any messages. She is stronger than anyone. So I'll see if anything else happens to come through from her specifically. I'm picking up rainbows. So like I can see all of the colors, red, orange, green, yellow, blue, indigo, violet. I can see all of them. And then I see the little arch. So I'm picking up a rainbow. Let's see. And then it looks like a lamb, like a small lamb, the animal. White, it's got furry, curly hair. Is there something associated with your family that would have to do with, I don't know how to pronounce that. They're showing me what looks like a beer garden, I think is what those are called. I see long tables. I see people dressed in like traditional German clothing. And then I see like these giant mugs of beer. But I see really long, they look like long outdoor picnic tables. And then I see people carrying these giant mugs of beer. Interesting. I don't know if there's like a location that would make sense that you can think of, or if that has anything to do with like your family. Normally I would pick up like features, what these people look like, and I'm not honestly picking anything up, or I would tell you what I see. I feel like she had a really good laugh too. Like her laughter was contagious. That's something that I feel a lot of like happiness and joy, laughter. I feel like everybody that knew her would know that she had a good laugh, that she was fun to be around, that she had a great sense of humor. And I feel like you actually are a lot like her, whether you look like her or not. I feel like your personality is similar to your mom's. Oktoberfest. Is that, because I know in the United States they have one of those too, where it's like celebrating with food and beer and things like that, and celebrating like German heritage and right, all those things. She's a Leo. Interesting. So she probably would have been pretty outgoing or outspoken, things like that. Most Leos typically are. They enjoy being the center of attention. I have a sister that's a Leo, and she definitely fits the bill to that one. Can you place the convertible car? Because that's being shown to me again, a convertible car. It looks like it could be red in color. And now I'm hearing music in my head. Can't quite make it out though. It has to do with a car, whatever this song is that they're trying to play for me. Can't get enough of it to figure out what it is though. That's what it is. Little Red Corvette. That's what's playing in my head. Little Red Corvette. Who sings that? Prince or somebody? That's all I'm hearing though, over and over again. Little Red Corvette. Maybe somebody had one of those once upon a time. Maybe somebody wanted one of those. I don't know. But I'm seeing the car, and it's a convertible, and it is red. Like bright red car. Like a real flashy sports car. And then I'm hearing that song play over and over again. Just that one little snippet. Little Red Corvette. No on the car. Okay. Does the turtle reference make sense? Or no to that one too? Yes, Prince, a friend did when younger. Friend did what? Have a Corvette when they were younger? Or the song makes sense. Yes, a Corvette. Okay. Is this friend in spirit? Passed on? Okay. They're showing me toes, like somebody's toes on their feet. Have your feet been bothering you lately? Because I'm feeling like pain, but also numbness and tingling. Specifically with toes and feet. Legs and toes. Okay. They're saying neuropathy, the word neuropathy in my head. So that could be part of what's causing the pain. I still think you need to go get that looked at if you haven't yet. I'm seeing a capital letter A. They're not giving me any context to what it's for, but I see a capital letter A. It almost looks like it's like a sports team logo, like a giant A on something, but I have no idea what that would be for. Trying to see if I can figure out what color that is. It almost looks like it's red. The A is red. And it's like a big A, and it's inside of a circle. I don't have any idea what that would represent. But I feel like it's a sports team logo. Giant A inside of a circle. Interesting. Okay, diabetic, yes, I have that. All right. I feel like if it's getting worse, like if it's not improving, it's not getting any better, I would definitely make an appointment to go get checked on, just to make sure it's not something, worsening, or that something needs to be adjusted medication-wise or anything like that. So I would definitely check on that, because there might be something that, is contributing to it that could be eliminated and make it better, or dosage adjustments if there's medicine, things like that. So definitely would get that looked at. If it's been, over a week or something and you're still experiencing that, definitely go get that looked at. Giant letter A, what is that? What is the Astros? ASTROS. Is that a sports team? I feel like it's a sports team. I don't know what their logo would look like. I don't have any idea where that would be, but giant letter A, and then they're saying Astros. Is that a baseball team or something? I don't watch enough sports to know. I don't even know where that would be for. Baseball team where you are. Okay, well, there you go. Oakland A's, maybe. Whatever it is, there's a giant A in like a circle on some sort of apparel, uniform, hats, something. It's a giant A. They're also showing me something that looks like a luxury place to be. Interesting. It looks expensive wherever this is that they're showing me, and it doesn't have to do with the Astro or the letter A stuff. They're showing me something that looks like an expensive place to live, like it's really a beautiful place. It looks like not everybody would be able to go there. I can't tell what this is. It's like a really pretty building. It could be a house, but I don't know that it's a house. I feel like it's a ritzy place. I don't know where this is, though. It looks like it's got several layers. It looks like it's got big pillars in the front of the building, and then it's got multiple layers, like tiers, to this building. Lots of windows. It looks like there's like a fountain in the front. When you pull up to this place, there's like a fountain in the front, and then like a big like circular driveway. It might be a house. Could be. Not really sure what else it would be. But it looks expensive. Casino. That's a casino? That's awesome. Casinos could be expensive for sure. Is that a place that you know of, that you go, that I described? Okay. Well, we're finally getting somewhere. Let's see. They're showing me pretzels. About that big, a pretzel. I can see like the crisscross as it loops around. I can see pretzels. Something to do with pretzels, the soft kind, not the like hard small ones, the soft pretzels. They're at Oktoberfest. Okay. Beer and pretzels, right? That's usually what people would have there, to my knowledge. I mean, there might be other things like sausages or whatever, but interesting. And they're also showing me somebody with a mustache. I feel like it was kind of over their top lip, so when they talked, it would would kind of fan out a little bit, like the air from their mouth would make their mustache wiggle. How funny. Somebody might have worn a mustache kind of long over their top lip. And then I'm getting a D name. Sounds like Daryl. D-A-R-Y-L. Daryl. Daryl. Darla? D-A-R-L-A. Darla. Can't quite make out the name. D sounding about 5 or 6 letters, it looks like. Daryl. Okay. Yep. Still living. Darla, daughter-in-law. Okay. Interesting. So is Daryl still living? And then how are we related to Daryl? Or are you related to Daryl? Okay, still living. And then Darla is the daughter-in-law. That's interesting. Did your mom know both of these people? I assume she did. Friend. Okay. We'll leave it at that. We don't have to go any further. Let's see. They're trying to give me another name, but I'm not sure I'm actually getting it correct. It's like a UM or an OM sounding name. What is that? Let me see. One of them sounds like Oma. O-M-A. I think that's grandma in some language, but I can't think of exactly what. And then they're giving me a reference to Tickled Pink. What is that? Like somebody's excited about something, tickled pink? Huh. And they're referencing something about a trickster, like somebody liked to play practical jokes or joke with people about stuff, like a trickster, a jokester. What was the no in reference to? Oma, my grandma, yes. Think my mom and grandma, my dad's mom, come to me. Okay. Did you guys call them Oma? O-M-A? I had a friend that was Dutch Indonesian, and that's what we called her, was Oma. My mom doesn't know him. Daryl, mom didn't know him? Okay, perfect. right, so that's interesting. You said mom didn't know Daryl, correct? She didn't know him. So I laugh because I don't know Daryl either, girl. So where did the name come from? Somebody's given it to me, right? So, there's a giggle. I do feel like she knows of him now. Maybe she didn't know of him while she was living or anything, but she does know of him now. So, yeah. I feel like she wants to see you happy with whoever you choose, friend or otherwise. I'm not trying to put you on blast or anything, but I do feel like she is giving me some information about that. She wants to see you happy, so she wants to see you laugh. She wants to see you love all of those things, enjoy life, friends, family, relationships, whatever. She just wants to see you happy. They're highlighting a male that I feel like is a brother. I don't know if you have a brother, but they're highlighting a male that looks like he would be related to you by a sibling. They're giving me a name that sounds like Jonah or Johann. It's like a Joh, John, Johnny. So this male, I would say he looks like he's living, to my knowledge. That's why I'm being shown this. Say he's roughly about like 5'11", maybe about 6 foot tall, kind of stocky shoulders, dark hair. He may wear glasses. Something about somebody having 2 left feet, like he can't dance or he's clumsy. Somebody might trip over their own feet. That's a funny one. Mom probably doesn't like Daryl. Why would she not like him? I would think that she probably doesn't care as long as he treats you good. You know, I mean, a lot of times that's all parents really want for their kids, especially when they're adults. If he treats you good, I don't see why she'd have a problem. You know how I was saying I was picking up a rainbow? I can see one out my window right now. That's crazy. Let me see if you can see it out my window. Can I zoom in? Right there. Not that it shows up real well. Let's see if I can get a better angle. It's real faint, but right in there, there's a rainbow. It's been raining off and on. You see it real faint there through the window? Funny, that wasn't there earlier. I just noticed it. Cool. Awesome. So I feel like there's hope that this would go somewhere with you and Daryl. But I don't know who has the cold feet, if it's you or if it's him. But I feel like there's hesitation for some reason or another. So if it's you that's hesitating, ask yourself why. Is there something that's maybe a red flag or a caution that is holding you back, or is it him? Is he the one that's holding things off? Because it could be one or the other. It could be both of you. Maybe you only want to be friends with this person. Maybe you don't. But I feel like there's a little chemistry there. He's married. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There would be the reason. Sometimes we have really good friendships with people who are already taken. I've run into that several times in my life. Or, they bat for the other team if they're not interested in women or whatever. So it's, you could still be friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like sometimes those platonic friendships are a lot of fun, and then you don't always have to worry about the other stuff that can come with relationships. You just get to enjoy the person. So it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's actually better. All right. Any other questions I can try and answer for you real quick? So, turtles, a bracelet with charms or something on it, rainbows, red Corvette convertible, trying to think what other symbols I saw that came through initially. All those names, that was wild. I don't normally get that many names. And if you haven't gone and gotten your feet stuff checked out, make an appointment. Go do that, because I feel like there's something that they can do to help with the pain portion of it. Not just pain pills or anything, but I feel like there might be something that they can do to help alleviate the pain, because I know that's miserable. So definitely get a checkup. Still with me? Sometimes I can't tell on here if anybody's still watching. Yes, okay. So, I don't feel like I picked up a whole lot of information from your mom, but I do feel like she was giving me information about other details that's going on. And sometimes it happens that way. Was she kind of shy around new people? Because sometimes I've had that happen too, it's like they don't necessarily want to step forward and talk to me, which it happens, just not super often. But it's like anybody when they're living, you can't force them to come talk to you if they don't want to come talk to you. So, no, she wasn't at all. Okay. Maybe I'm just not tapped into her energy very clearly tonight. That happens too. So she was more like very outspoken, very life of the party, because that was the other energy that kind of came through. I feel like the biggest thing that I'm picking up is that there was somebody that just had this infectious laugh. She just was a lot of fun. She was silly. She liked to joke. Maybe she was the jokester. Maybe she was the one that liked practical jokes, things like that. But I definitely picked that up, that there's somebody that had that around you, because it's very strong in the beginning of the reading. I could feel that. Just infectious laugh. She'd put a smile on your face. Just, whether she was happy, sad, whatever, it was that part of her shined through. I picked that part up. Is Dad around? I do feel like they're together. Did Dad have a mustache, or can you place who had the mustache? Because I feel like it's an older male that wore a mustache at some point that kind of covered his top lip. That was the most significant feature that came through in an older male. I feel like he was a bit stubborn. I feel like they could have butted heads quite a bit. They're showing me what looks like a smoking pipe for tobacco. I don't know if he smoked out of a tobacco pipe at all, but I almost get the smell of loose tobacco. Capricorn dad, Leo dad. So I'm confused. Was Dad the Capricorn and Mom the Leo? And Dad was very handsome. Okay. Let's see. Capricorn dad. Okay. So you and Dad would have been similar then, because you're both Capricorns. I mean, maybe you were, maybe you weren't, but I feel like personality-wise, you guys could have been similar. I feel like you were a bit more like your mom, though, in some regard. And not just in like looks or anything. I feel like personality traits. You may have actually had a lot of your mom's personality traits, even though you were Capricorn like dad. How funny. Do you have a brother? Because I still see this tall male with broad shoulders and dark hair. Or is that dad? Maybe it's dad. He's showing me him younger. I'm not sure. But it's fairly tall because I'm short. I'm 5'4". So anybody taller than me, I think, is tall. Like 5'11" to 6 foot, kind of broad shoulders, brown hair, possibly wore glasses. Like somebody might have also had dimples either like around here or in the chin. Could have had dimples in one of those two places, maybe both. Brother, yes. Does the brother look like I described? And is he younger than you? Because I feel like this male would be a younger brother. He's older than you. Okay. Not to be rude or anything, but did he act kind of immature? 'Cause sometimes that happens. Oh, okay. It hit it for a minute, so I have to approve it. Another moderator just handled this. I wonder who that was. Okay. So I feel like you guys probably had your fair share of issues. I don't know any siblings that haven't. Has he outgrown that in life, or is he still kind of that way? Don't talk to him. I have one sister and we don't talk either, so I get that. Did things get worse after your parents had passed? I sometimes get that, like, while the parents are alive, they kind of force siblings to have interactions, family functions, whatever. And then I feel like, especially if the mom passes first, I feel like the dynamic changes to where they don't mend fences, they don't have any interactions with each other, they just become completely distant. I'm not positive which one of your parents passed first, but I feel like if it was mom, that the rift between you and your brother got a lot worse. Because I feel like she would have been kind of the peacekeeper, although it could have been dad that was the peacekeeper. But I feel more like mom. The brother, you don't know if he's alive or dead? I mean, I'm kind of that way with my sister too, so. I'm not picking up anything that he's passed. Typically, they will tell me. Yeah, okay. Does he live in the same state as you, or does he live elsewhere last you knew? That's weird. They're giving me Oklahoma. There might be some tie to Oklahoma for one or the other of you. I see the OK, the abbreviation for Oklahoma. No clue. Okay. I see somebody wearing like a doctor's white coat. Is anybody that you can think of, were they a doctor or practiced any kind of medicine? Any sort of medical field stuff? Because I'm seeing it looks like a male in a white doctor's coat. Looks like he's got gray hair, he's balding on top, wireframe glasses. Say he's probably early 60s, like 63. I'm not getting a name though. Oh, thank you so much. So we're not sure of anybody that could have been in medicine that would have had like a white doctor's coat. Okay. Leave it to Gisela to challenge me for a reading. That's so funny. Feel like we at least got a couple of things though, so that's good. Who is it that used to listen to Prince music? Because I'm hearing Purple Rain. I was hearing Little Red Corvette. I feel like somebody listened to Prince like a lot at some point. Maybe not recently, but. Not you. Okay. Somebody definitely did, because I don't typically, that's not music I listen to. So for me to pick up music like that, it's channeled information coming through. So 2 Prince songs, Purple Rain and Little Red Corvette. I always tell people, especially if I'm doing a one-on-one reading, that you should go listen to both of those songs. There could be another message in either one of those. So they're here on YouTube. Just look them up and listen to them. See if you get anything else out of that. But I feel like somebody definitely listened to those songs, or I wouldn't be picking them up for any reason. And the toaster, that was the other thing they're showing me again, the toaster. It looks like it's got either a really long slot for the bread to go in, or it's like 4 slots. It's a good sized toaster. I see the bread go down and the bread pop up. I don't know why a toaster is significant at all. So bizarre, the things that Spirit will show me when I channel. So I don't know why a toaster is significant, but just remember that I said it. So a turtle, a silver bracelet with charms, rainbows, a toaster, the 2 Prince songs, Little Red Corvette and Purple Rain. Those are the big things that are still sticking out to me. So just remember I said those, or you can watch this back on replay anyway. If you forget, they'll be in here. But yeah, your parents are definitely together. I feel that very strongly. I feel like mom led the passing. Like, I feel like mom passed first, not dad. And I feel like dad was kind of a little bit lost without her until he passed and joined her, but they're absolutely together. And then I don't know if you celebrate Oktoberfest stuff or not, if they have any sort of celebrations, but the beer garden stuff that I'm seeing, I feel like that could be fun for you if you want to go socialize. That might be something that you end up doing if you don't do that. Things like that. And then Oklahoma stood out to me for some reason or another. So you may encounter somebody that's from Oklahoma. You might see something that's like the outline of the state of Oklahoma. You might see something with the word Oklahoma written on it, but Oklahoma is coming up. So I don't know why, but something to do with Oklahoma may come up. Oh, and the giant letter A with a circle around it. I feel like the sports team, there's a sports team. There's some reason or another that came through. I don't know what it has to do with, but All of those things. Dad passed first. Okay. Toaster, no clue. I don't know. I don't know what a toaster would have to do with anything. Maybe somebody's toaster is getting ready to crap out and they're going to buy a new one. I have no idea. Some of the things they show me just make me laugh. It's like, why? What does that have to do with anything? I can't always place the information that comes through. It's just there. It's like when you flip on a radio and, you know, maybe you're tuning it to a station and there's all these other stations that you encounter in between the one that you want. That's kind of how it works when I channel, is I hear all this other information or I see images in my mind and I don't always know what it means or what it's about. Sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. I just give you everything that I pick up. And then they're saying the word turbo. Something's really fast, maybe. Somebody's car has a turbo in it. Turbo. And the color yellow could be significant for some reason. Looks bright yellow, like sunshine or a sunflower, like bright yellow is coming through. So that would be the solar plexus. It sits right about just above the belly button in the stomach. And so that's where we receive our gut instincts, like our intuitive hits in the stomach. And it's like the energy center. So we tend to receive a lot of information there. So sometimes you could get like stomach aches, gut checks, things like that, where it's like, ooh, I just know something. Sometimes it's the solar plexus. So sunshine would be good. Go expose yourself to a little bit of sun here and there. Get those vitamin D flowing. But yellow, bright yellow. Interesting. Meeting someone new from Oklahoma. Come on, I can't make that shit up. Okay, just pay attention to any sort of red flags, okay? Make sure that you're being safe and being aware. Meet them in public places if you met them online or something silly. But hopefully you have fun. All right, guys. Does anybody want any charms before we go or any tarot cards? We could do 3 tarot cards. I was looking to get yellow roses. I love that. I have a yellow rose bush in my backyard in the garden. We planted it this year and it's got blooms on it. So I'll take pictures when they open this week for you guys. But they're that bright, pretty yellow. I love it. We have a bright orange one, a purple one, and a hot pink and white one. So they're super cute. Oh, I love that. And it means friendship. Yellow roses mean friendship. All of the different colors mean something. Right. Was anybody purple too? I love the purple ones. The ones I have smell like citrus. They smell so good when they first open. It's nice and strong. And you, like, if I water them, you can smell it in the air. I love it. It smells so good. I love purple. It's my favorite color. One of them anyway. I think it'd be cool to have like a giant rose garden somewhere. I think that would be so neat. Just because I love the way they smell. I like the way they look. Have like a ton of different colors and just let them grow as big as crazy as they could get, and you know, clip a couple and enjoy them, bring them inside, all that good stuff. Right. Was there anybody that wanted to do a couple of cards for free? Or any of the charms? We did have the charms out to do charm casting as well. And then hopefully I'll have signal when we go ghost hunting tomorrow. That'll be so exciting. It would be really cool if we capture anything live. That would be super fun. Cards if no one else. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Ooh. Star of the Four Cups and the Page of Pentacles. So the star is usually like a wish fulfillment. So you could have a wish coming in. Love that. Four of Cups, an unexpected love offer. You get to decide whether you want it or not. And then the Page of Pentacles is about setting some goals for the future. So if it's love, what do you like need in a partnership? Not just what you want, but what do you need out of a true partnership? Like if it was going to go the distance, whether it's marriage or not. But what do you want? It could be work or money goals too. It could be any sort of goals that you start to plan for the future. So start planning or setting some goals, because you do have a wish fulfillment that's trying to come in, and you do have an unexpected love offer. This will take you by surprise. This is an offer that comes out of left field. It's something that you don't see coming. And so I feel like it'll shock you and surprise you, but it could be a good surprise or a bad surprise. It depends on how you receive it. Hope I can go live tomorrow. Me too. I just don't know if there's any cell service down there, because it's literally a ghost town. And I don't think there's any like homes nearby. There's like the main road, because it shows that on the GPS stuff when I look it up. But it doesn't look like there's much else around there. There's a memorial down there, so maybe there's electricity. If there's electricity, there might be a cell tower nearby, but I don't honestly know. So we'll find out when we get there tomorrow. Someone new. So yeah, I don't think this is anybody that you know. Ooh, it would create some change in your life though. That could be good or that could be bad. The Tower, definitely, it's like sudden, shocking, surprising change. Definitely some big changes with the Tower. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if it's something good. Hopefully it's something good. I don't see any sort of negative stuff. Some people look at the Tower that it's negative. I don't. I just see it as change. It might be like a big change, but doesn't have to be a bad change, just change. So sudden, shocking events could be unfolding for you. A wish fulfillment, new love prospects coming in. So get figured out what kind of goals or things that you want for the future, and either write a list, make a mental note, something like that to iron those things out, because pages bring news. So this is news coming in of like a goal, a wish fulfillment, love, or change. So interesting. All right. So I feel like this could be, you know, new love that takes you to achieve. But I do feel like this person could take you by surprise. You guys might really hit it off. You might really like each other, and that creates some change, right? So I think that's a good thing. All right. Is there anyone else that wanted to do some cards or charms today before we get on out of here? And if not, that's cool too. So when I go live next time, I don't know what day I'm going to pick or whatever. I might go live in the middle of the week, like during the middle of the day or the afternoon. And then I'll try and do weekends from time to time too, just because I know people are busy doing stuff during the week, work, all that stuff. So I try and catch you guys at different times. So is it Beautiful MSBS? What's your first name, hun? And I'm Jenna. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here before. Just fine. We always welcome new people. I always just like to know everybody's first name, so I know how to address you in the room. All right, let's see. 7 of Swords. What else? King of Wands. 2 of Swords. Lovers and 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So first things first. I do think, Flora, that you need some boundaries. Okay, because the 7 of Swords can mean that somebody has lied, cheated, manipulated, backstabbed you, things like that. So we need some boundaries so that that doesn't happen again, right? So watch out for anybody who is a liar, a cheater, a thief, or manipulator. You kind of want to steer clear of that energy. The King of Wands is somebody who can be very driven, passionate, outspoken, can be somebody who's kind of the life of the party. It's typically associated with fire signs, so you're kind of at a crossroads. So you need to see the truth of the situation for whatever it happens to be. Remove any sort of rose-colored glasses, any sort of blindfold that you might have on about the situation, and just facts is how you need to base your decision on what you do going forward. I feel like work could be a priority. You might be headed towards better pay, maybe a promotion, things like that. But you got to put in the effort. Where a love relationship, which it could also be, somebody needs to make the effort, is what I feel like. The Lovers tells us that we have a choice to make about a relationship. So I feel like maybe one person isn't putting in as much effort as they could. I feel like it's kind of lopsided, to put it as easy as I can. Like one person's putting forth more effort than the other is another thing that I'm picking up. So we have to decide whether this is worth it or not. So you could be dealing with air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, fire sign energy, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, earth sign energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and Gemini with the Lovers. So any of those might apply. The only thing you don't have out here is water. So I feel like everybody else is here, just no water sign energy. So I feel like somebody needs to make a choice about whether they stick it out in a relationship. If you're totally single, I feel like you're changing direction either in work or in how you go about maybe meeting people to find a relationship or find love. But you need to watch out who you're getting involved with, because the Seven of Swords tells us that there's been some manipulation, there's been some backstabbing, there's been some betrayal. So we don't want that going forward. So we've got to make good choices about the people we get involved with. So you've got to kind of give it some time. I wouldn't recommend you rush into anything. We're still in Mercury in retrograde. Contracts to sign if you can help it. If you can't, read the fine print. No big ticket purchase items, tech issues, communication breakdowns, things like that. So if you're starting to like date somebody new during a retrograde, kind of feel it out and take things slow. Don't rush into anything. There could definitely be some communication glitches and things like that. So really important that we try and communicate as effectively as possible. But mostly I just see that there's like a decision needing to be made about a relationship. So you're going to have to decide whether it's something you want or something that you don't want. But watch out for people who are trying to manipulate you in any way, shape, or form, whether work, love, in that energy. You want to have boundaries. You want to kind of know what you're looking for going into something and then see where it goes, but take your time. You don't have to jump the gun on anything. Anyone else that wanted to get a couple of cards before we're out of here for the night? Or charms? We'll pull a couple of charms. What's going on? What do we got? Okay, so we have the Navy anchor. So I feel like there could be some stability coming in. Moon cycles could be significant. We have the little puppy dog. I don't know if you guys can even see these. If I'm holding them like this. So somebody could have a little furry friend. Maybe there's a new addition, new pet coming in. I feel like this little medallion, it says kind, compassionate, peace, free, true, brave, strong, happy, and thankful, and compassionate. So I feel like those might be qualities we're looking for in a person. We have the tennis racket or the racquetball racket. So maybe somebody enjoys. We have the little tooth with wings. So dental checkups, maybe somebody might work at a dentist office. Maybe they're a hygienist. We do have the army wife, so that could be important. Maybe somebody has a military background. We have the little skull ring. So something is, maybe somebody is buying a handbag, a purse. Maybe there was something that was gifted to somebody that was expensive. It could be current timing for like events unfolding. So somebody, if they're not already married, I feel like there could be something that goes towards commitment. I also feel like something could be ending in a long-standing commitment. Interesting. But Leo season, I feel like, is going to be kind of epic. I feel like there's going to be a lot of big changes throughout the collective. Love, work, all those things. I feel like they're showing me dominoes kind of falling one by one. So it's like a domino effect. It's like one thing changes and then boom, 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 boom. They just keep changing. So positive. I feel like they're all positive changes, right? They're necessary. Liking them. And then I'm going to keep ordering different ones until I have just a ton of them. And that way there's more variety of stuff. They bring you back to being a little girl. I love that. What's funny is I was seeing like a charm bracelet when I was channeling for you. So I don't know if somebody has one of those or if somebody you received from somebody, if you haven't already, if it wasn't something that like your mom had. I feel like it's a gift that somebody receives, like a charm bracelet. I don't know if you've ever seen those or not. Pandora, the jewelry company, used to make charm bracelets. They were called Pandora bracelets, I think. And they had all sorts of different charms for these bracelets. And so that might be something that you somehow come across. So just remember that I said that, Gisela, because it's come through multiple times that this bracelet keeps showing up. So something to do with that. I have a lot of her jewelry still. Look through there. See if she had something like that. It doesn't have to be Pandora specifically, but that was one that came to mind. But I feel like it's silver and it's got a lot of little dangly pieces that are charms. It's something that's like hanging off of there, because it's strange that that would keep coming through. Turtles, again, keep showing up. Rainbows. I mean, I would, honestly, I'd be very surprised in a great way if you emailed me and said, you will not believe she had a charm bracelet and it had rainbows and turtles and, you know what I mean? Like these little things all over it. But it's weird because I keep seeing like real specific things. So I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be gifted something like that or if she had something like that and she's highlighting it because it's something that there's no way I would have known. But there's definitely a lot of information that came through. Some of it fit, some of it didn't, and that's okay. It's just par for the course when we're doing them live. But you guys don't get to see a lot of the mediumship stuff. So like I was saying last time, I want that to change. I want to do mediumship stuff over here for you guys too. So we're just going to start. We're going to start doing that here and there. So I can't guarantee I'm going to come on every single week, but I'm going to try and, you know, be more regular about doing lives over here for you guys too. So that's the goal moving forward. So thank you guys for being here tonight. I hope you guys got a little something out of the readings, and I will try really hard to go live tomorrow if I have a signal to do so, as long as she's around. She's definitely around. I feel like the more that you communicate with her that you want to hear from her, the more she's going to oblige you and do so. Be really specific with what you ask her to show you. And that way you're going to only with my mom, music, certain animals, things like that. And then I ask for something really obscure when I really need a sign that she's around, and she's really good at giving those things to me. So just ask for something kind of out of the blue, out of the box of what you would associate with her or ask for. And the more specific, the better. And then wait for it to come in. It could come in through your phone on social media. You might see a post or a video of something that you ask Spirit to show you. It could come through a random stranger that maybe they're wearing a t-shirt that has the symbol or the sign that you asked for. It can come in a million different ways. So just be open to how it comes through. Try not to put Spirit in a box is what I tell people, because they can come through in a lot of different ways. You just got to be open to how they show up. So that's like the biggest thing. And then communicate as often as you want with them, just like you would talk to them when they were still alive. Just talk to them. They hear your thoughts. They hear your prayers. Spirit communicates through telepathic messages or through the mind. So through thoughts, so they can hear those things. Maybe it's a thought that you only had, you didn't tell another living soul, you only communicated through thoughts in your mind. They hear those things. So that's, however, they hear you. I'll give you a quick example before we get out of here. So what was it? Maybe like 2 summers ago, I don't dream about, I wish that I could. So I'm just like any other normal person. I have to communicate with her the other way, right? Like just any other person could do. So one night I had a dream that she was at my house for whatever reason. And she said, when I went to go get my son from work, my oldest son, who's like 26 years old, she said, make sure that you tell him that dinner's on the stove and don't forget to put the trash cans out. And I thought, of all the things, you're going to come through with that? That's what your communication's going to be? Come on, give me something better than that. So I texted him the next day and told him about the dream. He didn't respond right away. I think a day or so went by. And he said, how funny about the dream, because it that they give you is information, it's a connection. So don't be upset if it's something silly like, hey, don't forget to put the trash cans out. They're still communicating. They know what's going on. They hear us, they see us, they know everything that's going on with us down here, and they're able to communicate, amplify. 5D or Christ consciousness is something where if you have ascended to that level, and then you are going to start to really see things and hear things and experience things energetically. And it's part of the process. And so I feel like if you're aligned with this, I feel like your dreams could be really, really strong, like going forward. Definitely intuitive hits on information, just sudden knowings of things, picking up on information. You might be seeing like shadows in your peripheral vision where it's like, I know there was something there, and then you look and there's nothing there. Things like that, because the veil is thinner and thinner as we approach the 5D, and then it's like everything is kind of intertwined, so we can see spirit activity a little bit more. There's a lot more to it than all of that, but the Schumann resonance is the measurement of Earth's magnetic frequency. You can look those up online. There's all these different like mappings of them. So there's a couple of channels that I come across that study this and break it down to make it make sense. I woke up feeling really crummy today. Really, really crummy. Woke up with a headache, felt really disoriented. My hearing was affected. My sinuses hurt. I was feeling like a hot mess. And it took several hours for that to kind of wear off. So the Schumann was almost a complete whiteout. So just a giant band of white light going through the screen. And that's unusual. We don't see that all the time. And then the screen kind of blacks out, or the graph stops recording for a while. So normal for the planet is about 7.85 or something. I can't remember the exact number. And the amplitude has been like 70 plus lately. So we start to feel that headaches, body aches, dizziness, nauseous, like your whole body kind of feels like it's being scrambled. Our bodies have to match the frequency of the planet, right? And so as we ascend, as our frequency changes, the Earth's frequency is changing. So we kind of have to keep elevating to match that to be compatible, right? So it's an interesting thing to look at. And I do from time to time see updates and stuff like that. But today it was really, really high. I want to say it hit like 80 or 90. And I've never seen it do that before. And then it slowly will start to kind of creep back down. So cellular changes are happening within our body. And so that's part of the ascension process, is for us to basically go through this evolution and change so that we ascend into the higher frequency or dimension of that stuff. It's called the Schumann resonance scale, and there's several different ones, and it updates in 24-hour increments, I think. So like on the daily, it's changing, and that's something that you can just Google and look up and see what it's doing. There's something called ascension symptoms that you can feel within your body. So maybe you feel like you have the flu, maybe you feel like headaches, backaches, nausea, like all these crazy things, and you might be experiencing ascension symptoms as your body is trying to acclimate to the change in the frequency of the planet. So animals notice it, we notice it. It's definitely something that you will eventually start to feel if you aren't already experiencing it. So just some food for thought. If you woke up feeling like you got run over by a bus today, you're not alone. You're experiencing the frequency change. And I definitely felt that way earlier today. So I was a little nervous, like, shoot, do I even do a live today? Because I don't know. I'm feeling kind of crummy. And I started feeling better this afternoon. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to, even if I don't look so great. But so anyways, that is what I have for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Finally coming out of all the headaches and crazy issues, except my legs, and mom also had leg issues. Ooh, and an amputee. So I definitely want you to follow up with your doctor, because this is like the second week that we've talked that you're still experiencing that. So definitely see if there's anything else going on. Maybe something needs to be adjusted with medication or something. But I feel like there's changes that can be made to help those things feel better. it might not get rid of anything, but it might make it feel a little bit better. So soak them in some nice warm Epsom salt water, things like that, help them feel a little bit better. I get that way too. Mine start to kill me after a while, so I have to elevate them and rest and all that stuff. So it's not fun. It's definitely no picnic. But I will tell you, years ago, and every time I would get a really bad migraine, I would have to like go lie in a dark, cool room and sleep it off. And when I was asleep, I would have these crazy dreams that were usually predictive. So that's kind of how my mediumship started. And as I got older, the frequency of the headaches was less. I would just start to see things while I was totally awake and coherent. And now I am able to channel pretty easily without a whole lot of effort. But it's taken me a very long time to get to that point. So you could be receiving some sort of energetic download if you're experiencing a lot of headaches. And a lot of times it's information trying to come through, but we're not open to receive it. We're actually energetically blocking it, even though we don't realize we are. So that can also be another contributing factor, especially if you feel like your intuition's getting a lot stronger. So try and relax, close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and see if there's anything that just pops into your head. I journal sometimes about what's coming through if I think it's really necessary, and just kind of keep track of the things that are going on or things that I'm seeing. Some of them don't happen for years. Some of them happen within a few weeks to a month. It's just, they're all different timelines. So might be another thing to try if you feel like there's some things coming through that you need to see or know. Well, we're going to discuss, and I think the first one we're going to cover is weaponized incompetence. So I hope you guys will join me for that. I am finally at peace where I am. I love that for you. I hope everybody gets to that point, because it's a game changer for sure. All right, my lovelies, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you soon.